Welcome to On the Fly. My name is Chef Michelle and I will be your host today. Today we're going to get you warmed up with something good and delicious for fall. We're going to start off with our kale and white bean soup, followed by a blackened salmon on top of speckled grits. Lastly, we're going to tempt your sweet tooth with a mascarpone, cream cheese, and candied caramel pecan mousse. That was a lot to say, so I want you to hold on and follow me to the kitchen. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So come on, step over and we're gonna get this soup cooking. It's gonna start with a little bit of olive oil, about a 1/4 cup, a little garlic. We're gonna saute that till we get some fragrance going on. I did a little cheat code. Didn't have a lot of time to soak the beans, so I put them on a boil prior to making the soup so that we can get them softened up a little bit. You can also use the canned bean if you wish. I prefer the dry, a little more flavor going on there. And I don't have to worry about any additives except my own. So here we have those beans. I'm gonna add them in with that sauteed garlic. And I also have some potatoes in there because that's part of our dish today. And I want to get those softened up as well. Nobody wants to eat hard potatoes. I'm gonna bring that to a boil. While we do that, we're gonna add some select seasonings. I have a little kosher salt. Some of my own proprietary spices and blend here. And we're gonna let that simmer. Next, we're gonna add in some of the kale, because it's a kale and white bean soup. Gotta have the kale. And also some chicken stock or bone broth, whichever you prefer. We're gonna grab that and add a little more of that in. Whole corner corn. This is fresh corn. Got that going. We're going to bring it down and allow it to simmer for a moment. While that happens, grab yourself a snack. We're going to let this simmer for a little bit and be back to give it a taste. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're finishing up this kale and white bean soup. There's one ingredient that we need to add in, a little tomato. It's going to give us a little color, and it's also going to give us a lot of rich flavor. So we're going to add some stewed tomatoes in. If you want to do a fresh tomato, you may. I like the stewed tomatoes. The color, I just add that right on in. And of course you have to give it a taste. If you don't taste your food, you allow somebody else to taste it and you don't know what it tastes like, might not be a good situation. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a taste and see where we are. I like it already, and you will too, so make sure you give it a try. Next, we're going to add some fresh thyme. Allow this to simmer some more, and we'll be ready to have some kale and white bean soup. It's really chilly out, and I think this is hearty. It has your white beans, your kale, the corn, all the essentials that I feel you need to stay warm on a cold fall evening. Be great for a Halloween potluck or just when you just want something really quick. So I'm gonna grab a bowl and we're gonna bowl it up. Welcome back. We're ready to try this wonderful kale and white bean soup. First, we're gonna make a little garnish for it. I've taken a little Italian parsley. We're gonna just do a little rough chop to that. The royal is not good without parsley. I call it the culinary glitter. It needs a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead and bowl this up. Clean it up a little bit for you. All right, we're looking like $1,000,000. I'm gonna sprinkle with a little bit of grated Parmesan Reggiano. I think we're looking good. So here we are. Absolutely delicious. Warm, nutritious, and quick and easy to make. So thank you for stopping in at On the Fly with Chef D. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back to On the Fly. I'm your host, Michelle Daniels, and you can also call me Chef D. Today, we are going to prepare a blackened salmon and put it on top of some speckled grits. Speckled because it is a white and a yellow corn. So let's get right into it. I have some center cut salmon here, a little butter, olive oil, lemon. Pretty basic, but it tastes so delicious. I also have some proprietary herbs and spices of my own that I blended together. A little cayenne pepper, paprika, onion, garlic, salt, and other choice spices. So first I'm going to put on a little glove here so we can get the salmon all ready to go. Let's make sure that our pan is hot. We're going to turn it up a little bit to a nice sear for the salmon. I'm going to add a little olive oil. Rub that in. Evenly coat it. You sprinkle up high. That gives you better coverage of your protein. Down low, you get clumps. So that's why sometimes you may have the spices all in one area and you're like, oh no, it's all in one area. No, 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 sprinkle high. All right, we've got that done. Now we're gonna just add a little olive oil to the pan. Get a good little smoke point going on there. Let's see. Yeah, looking good. We're gonna place the salmon down with presentation side first, skin up. Hear that sizzle? That's what we want. Great, looking good. I like butter because butter makes it better. I'm gonna add a little cube of butter in there. Gonna add a couple sprigs of thyme. Give us some fragrant notes. And it's going. We're gonna let that simmer, or actually saute on both sides here. Once you start to see the flesh begin to turn white, you know that we're getting to a good point. I like to cook my salmon about a medium rare. Some people are out there a little wild. They like to have it done and dry. We don't want that. We're gonna make this one traditionally medium rare. We got that going. I'm gonna turn it right on over. Beautiful coating there. I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Nice sear. We got the flavor on it. It's looking great. I wish you were here. You could smell it. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit more because we want the skin on the back to be nice and crispy. Salmon's one of my favorite fish. I enjoy it. It's easy to cook. You can't really mess it up. Some fish like your perch or your trout, they're a little thinner, so sometimes they tend to get overcooked really quickly. This one, if you overcook it, it's a little forgiving, and you can always put a great sauce on it. While we're letting that work, I'm going to grab a plate because we're going to plate up our grits. So over on this side, we've taken some speckled grits. I cooked them for about 20 to 30 minutes. I like to add a little heavy cream into my grits. That gives it some consistency. Also fluffy and a great taste. Not just plain water. So if you want, if you're lactose intolerant, if you want to use a different type of milk, you may. I don't suggest any of the nut milks, but your almond milk, coconut milk I've also used, and that's actually very tasty. And it'll kind of give it a Caribbean flavor, if you will. And that'll go really, really good with it. So we're looking almost ready here. Grits are all set. Gonna add a little sprinkle of cheddar cheese in those grits to give it a little southern flair. Gonna allow that to melt in there. It's a southern thing. I love it. Let that go. Chop a little parsley. And get ourselves some lemon wheels for that. Salmon's looking great. Again, this is really easy. Doesn't take a lot of time. I know a lot of times you don't have a lot of time to be cooking and doing all this. You got kids to take care of, jobs, and all the other good things that go along with life. Because they say life be lifing. So cooking should not take a lot of your energy or time. Do that. And turn that off and let it sit. It will continue to cook. It's what we call continuous cooking. So you don't always have to have the heat on all the time. You can just turn your heat off and allow the food or the protein that's there to continue cooking. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to grab a plate. Put some grits right on it. Right in the center. That's already looking magnifique. Add the salmon to it. Right there in the middle as so. Looking delish. A little garnish. You'll be eating good in the neighborhood before you know it. And there you are. A little blackened salmon. Little speckled grits. Voila. Thank you for stopping in with On the Fly with Chef D. I hope that you found this particular meal quick and easy to fix and enjoyable. Thank you. Welcome back to On the Fly with Chef D. We are going to close out today's show with making something a little for your sweet tooth. Straight and good for fall and also good for your tummy. It is a cheesecake and mascarpone mousse. No bacon is needed. Whipping it up and putting it in a glass. So here we go. We're going to have some candied pecans. I candied these in the oven with a little bit of butter, a little bit of brown sugar, cinnamon, and a touch of caramel. I also put a bit of cayenne pepper in there for a little spice. We have some mascarpone cheese, cream cheese, powdered sugar, heavy cream of course, and we've taken some graham crackers and made a nice little graham cracker crust for the bottom. So to get started, we're going to start with the cream cheese and add it to the bowl. Make sure your cream cheese is softened. It's hard to work with cream cheese that is hard. It doesn't whip very well and it's going to take you a little while. I'm going to add mascarpone. So I've got about a cup of each, half a pound, however you want to put it together. I'm going to add a little heavy cream in there. Not too much. You're better off starting with less than more because you can't fix it when it's a lot more, or you're going to make more than you need it. A little powdered sugar. A little hand blender action here. I'm going to start that on low. Nice, fluffy. I'm going to turn down, we're going to scrape down that bowl. So mixer on crack over here. It's doing a lot. All right, we're going to scrape it down. Let's try that again. There we go. I'm going to add a little more powdered sugar in there. Scrape it down one more time, then we're going to add a squeeze of fresh lemon. I'm not a baker, but I love making this dessert because it's quick and easy and it tastes great. This is when they call and go, "Can you bring something to the potluck?" Oh, sure, no problem. I'm going to bring my cheesecake caramel pecan mousse. That is looking great. Let's add a little bit of lemon juice to brighten it up. We don't want any seeds. You can use your lemon squeezer if you want. I'm a hands-on kind of girl, so we're gonna do this. No seeds. Work it in. That is looking great. Get that out of the way. Wonderful. So we've taken some graham cracker, put in a little pesto. I'm gonna add some of these pecans in there as well. Give it a nice little rough crush in here. You can use any vessel you want. I'm gonna use the martini glass. I like martinis, but they also looks pretty too. Put it in a bowl, however you want to do it. That's gonna be our little bottom layer. And we're gonna add some of our mixture here. If you have a piping bag, you can put it in a piping bag. I'm gonna go all natural with it. Just add it right in there. That's looking great. And then make it a little treacle style. Add a little more. Add a little more on top. Have that rustic look to it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Dessert is a perfect ending. Doesn't have to always be perfect. And I add some of our pecans in there like that. Drizzle of caramel. And we'll start from the top. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Now that's some caramel. And a little bit of cinnamon. And we're gonna put a little mint for decoration right there in the top. And there you have it. Your mascarpone cream cheese mousse with a little bit of caramel, your candied pecans, a little mint. We're gonna taste it and see how well we did. Delectable, delicious, and quick and easy to do. Thank you again for tuning in to On the Fly with Chef D. Cheers. Welcome back to On the Fly with Chef D. I hope you had a great time watching. Well, I had a great time cooking. Wish you all were here in the party. Today we featured a kale and white bean soup. It was so great it flew off the shelf. We also had a seared salmon atop of a bed of speckled grits, along with our sweet ending cream cheese mascarpone mousse with caramelized pecans and a little bit of caramel for extra flavor. So I enjoyed being here with you today. You can find me on Instagram at allaboutfoodaz or at my website at www.theprodigiouschef.com, on TikTok at theprodigiouschef13. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon. If you eat something, make sure it's a good one. Ciao.